everyone, you're welcome back to Yink Sweet Lady Space once again. My name is Yinka. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make this beautiful high-low bust pleated flared skirt. For this tutorial, you'll be needing your skirt length measurement, the length you want for your skirt in front and the length you want for it at the back. Then you'll be needing your waistband measurement, that is your waist circumference measurement. Then after that, you're going to be multiplying your waistband measurement by 2.5. Whatever you get, you're going to be dividing that answer by 3.14. That is going to be for the radius of the circumference of your skirt. For example, here the waist circumference is 32. Multiplied by 2.5 gives me 80. Then I will divide that by 3.14, which gives me 25.5. So the fabric here is already folded into two. As you can see, I already folded it into two already. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to be folding this over diagonally like a triangle, just like I'm showing you here, into four. By the time you do your fabric like this, it's going to be automatically be into 4 folds. Then this part here is completely unfolded. That's going to be for the center front, while the remaining two is open. That's going to be for the back. After that, I'm going to be inputting my radius, that is your waist circumference multiplied by 2.5 divided by 3.14. Whatever you get, that's going to be the radius, and you're going to be measuring that all around, just like I'm showing you here. Just continue to measure. Mine is 25.5, so I'm just measuring that 25.5 like that, you know, rotating it all around like I'm showing you here. All right, so when that is done, the next thing you want to do is to input the length of your skirt. First, now you're going to be inputting the length you want for it at the back. I told you I want 34, so I'm just inputting that 34, and I'm going to be measuring that 34 all around. Just measure that 34 all around, starting from your radius. Or another thing you can do, once you locate the point where the 34 is, then you go back to the tip of the triangle, and then you continue to rotate whatever it is right now. Just rotate it all around, so that you know when you do it this way, it makes the thing easier for you compared to when you're just measuring it from the circumference. So just continue to rotate it like so. And if you notice again, I did not add any allowance to the length. You know, you needed 1.5 seam allowance at the lower part for hemming, then you need half inch at the band at the waist area. But then I'm still going to be putting waistband of 2 inches, so that's why I did not even bother to put any allowance on it. So I just measured that 34 that I want directly. You know, later I'm going to be sewing it with 1.5 at the hemline, then half at the waistline. Then I will still replace the band, so there's no point removing the band from the length. Just input directly the length you desire directly on the fabric like so. All right, so the next thing you want to do now is just go back to your center front like I'm showing you here. Then you measure the length you want for it at the front, your front length. My front length is 24, so I just measured that 24 there. Then from the edge of the side seam like there, just connect these points together. Just connect it together with a slight curve, you know, starting from that edge there, from that your side seam, because right now that side now is your side. So continue to just connect it together to the center front like that. With a slight curve, you can see the way I've done it there. Slowly connect it together like so. All right, so a quick recap of the steps so far. The first thing is, starting from the tip of the triangle, you're going to measure your radius all around like so. Just rotate your radius like that. So when that is done, the next thing you want to do is to input the skirt length at the back, your back skirt length. Starting from the radius, just measure your back skirt length downward like so. So just measure it, whatever it is now. You're just going to be measuring it, starting from your circumference, just measure your back skirt length like so. Rotate that as well, just like that. Or another professional way to do it when you mark your back skirt length like that, you go back to the tip of your triangle. Then from that point, just rotate the back skirt length like that. You know, you already mark it on the cloth, so just rotate it like so. Then after that, you're going to be measuring the front skirt length. Just measure the front skirt length. Then you go back to the side. That's the side there. Then you connect these points together just to the center front, just like that. All right, so we are going to be cutting this out now. I believe it's clear. All right, so the next thing is for me to cut this out. First, I'll cut it out on the radius like that. That's just this waist circumference now. Then I'll cut it on the back skirt length. All right, so that is done. The next thing I want to do now is to cut it on this line. But then you need to first lift it up. Just lift it up like so. You can see that is the folded part. That's going to be your center front. Just lift it up like that. Then you cut it out. Please don't make the mistake of cutting the four of them together. Just cut it out on the center front like I'm showing you here. Don't make the mistake of cutting the last two pieces with this one that you're cutting, please. So just cut it out till you get to the side. And that's it, we're done cutting. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is to put your notches. So grab the center front, that's the center front right there. You notch it. Then you notch the zip allowance. You're just going to be using 1/2 inch as your zip allowance. So just take 1/2 inch like that and notch for your zip allowance. Then after that, you fold them over back nicely. Let it fold back nicely on top of each other as it was before. Then you notch the side. That's the side, notch it. So after that, put the side on top of the center front like I'm showing you here. Just layer it on top of each other like that. Then you notch. Layer it on top of each other like that. That's a recap there. Just notch that side now. Notch it. All these notches will help you to know where to form your pleats. Alright, so a quick recap of the notching. First, notch the center front, notch the side, bring the side to the center front like so, then you notch that place, and that's it. You're done cutting. The next thing now is to cut the waistband. So I'll take the remaining fabric, then I'll fold it into two. Just fold it into two like I'm showing you here diagonally. Band is better to be cut on a bias than on a straight grain. All right, so fold it like I'm showing you here. The fabric is folded into two, so the length of the waistband is going to be your waist circumference. For this tutorial we're using 32, so that 32 I'm going to be adding 1 inch to it. That's going to be for the zip allowance. So I'm going to have 1/2 inch on one side, 1/2 inch on the other side. All right, so I'm just measuring that 33 inches, then I'll make a point like that. The length of this band is your waist circumference plus 1. That 1 is your zip allowance. So the next thing you do now is to input the width. I want the band to be 2 inches. So I'm going to be measuring 2.5 instead of the 2 inches. I need 1/2 inch to join the skirt band to the skirt itself. So that's why I'm making it 2.5. So just measure that 2.5 randomly like that. Then you connect it into a straight line. Then after that, you cut it out. The length of this band is 33 inches. That is your waist circumference plus 1. Then the width of it on fold is 2.5. 2.5. 2 inches is the height of the band, then half is for joining this band to the skirt part. All right. So by the time you open it now, you have 33 inches by 5 inches. So the next thing I'll do now is to fuse the waistband with my stay. So I'll just cut out my stay exactly the same size of the band. Then I'm just going to iron this stay on top of the band. Just iron it on the wrong side of the band. I use a very soft interfacing here, very soft one. So when that is done, I'll just fold it like I'm showing you here. Then I'll use iron to just iron it in place like that. So just use your iron to fold ½ inch like that. Then you iron it all around like that. And note, you're doing this step to only one side of the band, just one side. All right, so when you're done, fold your band into two like so. You notch the center, then you take it to the zip allowance, just ½ inch, leave ½ inch there like that for your zip allowance. Then you notch it, just notch your zip allowance, ½ inch zip allowance. All right, so after that, then you notch the side that I'm showing you here. Notch it, notch it like so. Then from that side now, take it to the center front, just like that. Then you notch this part, just like you did on your flay, if you remember. All right, now all your notchings are done, just exactly like you have it on the flay. So you open it now, you bring it to the right side. This is the right side of the band. This is the right side. Then you take the skirt, so place the waist circumference on top of the band. First locate the center of the skirt, that is your center front on the skirt. First locate your center front. We already have our notching there. So right side facing right side, see the center front of the band, align it with the center front of the skirt, right side facing each other. Then you pin it, just pin it in place. Next you want to do is to locate the next notch on your skirt. Then you match it with the next notch on your band like so. Then you pin it. Then after that, locate the next notch on the waist of the skirt. Then match it with the waistband too. Just match the notches on the band with the notches on the skirt. If you have followed this simple step that I showed you earlier, it won't be difficult for you to do this because the notches are equal. All right, so match the zip allowance now. So now starting from the front again, starting from the center front again, you do the same thing to the other side. Just match the notches together like I'm showing you, and you pin it, please. That will help you to distribute your pleats evenly. So when that is done, if you like, at this stage you can decide to pleat your skirt directly on your table before taking it to the sewing machine. Just pin it, just pleat, and then you pin it. But then I don't usually do this. I always like to do my pleats on my sewing machine, so I'm not going to be pinning the pleats. So I'll just take my clothes now to the sewing machine, then I'll pleat it directly from the sewing machine. All right, so we're going to be sewing our skirt now. The first thing you want to do is to sew your zip allowance. First sew on that ½ inch that you left for your zip allowance. So just sew on that ½ inch. Then you keep your needle down. Then you take the excess that you have now. We already pinned this in place. So that excess, fold it towards the zip allowance side. That's going to be your first pleat. Fold the whole excess towards your zip allowance like so. Then you sew on it. So when you're finished sewing that, keep your needle in, then you locate the next excess, then you notch it at the center. Just notch the center of the next excess like so. When that is done, locate the distance on your waistband, the midpoint like that. That's the waistband down there. Then that center there, just you can use your chalk to mark it. Then you pleat this excess, pleat it on top of the middle like I'm showing you here. Just pleat it on top of the center like so. One side down, you sew on it, then the other side, take it to the middle, then you sew on it like so. And that's how you're going to continue doing all these things till you get to the other side of the zip allowance. So this is the next one again. Notch the center, locate the center of the waistband like so. The distance there now from one pin to the other. You can measure it. Just locate the center between one pin and the other. Locate the center like that. Then that place that you just notch, you match the center together like so. Then you pleat it on one side like that. Bring that side to the middle. Bring the side to the center like this. Then you sew it. Then you take the other side. Take the other side to go and kiss it at the middle like so. Then you sew it. It's easy to do and it's kind of fun as well. So just continue to locate the center like so. You locate the center of the excess, locate the center on the waistband, then match those centers together. Then you form a pleat to come to the center on one side. Then you take the remaining one to go and kiss it. Take it to go and kiss it like so at the center. Then you sew on it. So just repeat this same step till you get to the other side. So when you're about to get to the other side of the zip allowance, the last excess that you have there, you face it towards your zipper side. This is how it looks. All right, so the next thing you want to do is to match your zip allowance together on the waistband. Let it align properly like that. Match it together. Ensure the joining of the waistband to the skirt is properly aligned. Then from that joining, you measure 7 inches downward. That's going to be for the zip opening. So from that waistband there, just measure 7 inches downward. 7 inches downward like that. Or this depends on the length of the zip you have. Alright, so you can just use your zip to measure that. So from that point now, I'm going to sew it all the way down with ½ inch seam allowance. So when you're done joining it, you go back to your zipper side. Then you mash your band together. Just mash your waistband together like I'm showing you here. Mash it together. After that, fold it downward like I'm showing you here. Then you notch the middle. Notch the middle like so. That's where your zip is going to start from. Your zip is starting from that notching that you have there. Alright, so I already bring out my skirt to the right side. This is the right side of my skirt. And that's my zip opening there. So that's the zipper I'm using. The right side of my zipper is up now, as you can see. So I'll place my zipper on top of the skirt. Right side of the zipper is facing the right side of the skirt. Right side to right side, and it's starting from that notching that I have at the center there. So the next thing you want to do now is just to fold the mouth of the zipper away, before the metal that you have at the tip of the zipper, that little part there, just fold it away like I'm showing you there. Then you can just use your hand to hold it one side, then you open the zipper. Then you're going to sew the zip on the skirt with half-inch seam allowance. Remember, we are using half-inch for our zip allowance. So when you get to the joining that you have there on your skirt, just sew your zip further like half-inch more past that joining. Alright, so we're done with one side of the zip. So the next thing you'll do is to close your zip. Just close it. Then you'll now turn the skirt to the wrong side. Turn it to the wrong side. Then this time around, we are going to sew from the down part of the zip. We're going to be sewing it from the down part of the zip. But then you need to go and check your band. Make sure the joining on your band, they are aligning properly, and the notch that you have there, they are facing each other properly. So you can pin it if you want. So the other side now, you're going to be sewing it from the down. And you are going to sew it with half-inch seam allowance. Automatically now, this zip is facing the right side of the clothes. Though you are sewing from the wrong side, but automatically the right side of the zip is facing the right side of the skirt. Then you sew it all the way to where you have your notch. Just fold the tip of the zip away like so, then you sew on it till you get to that notch. Alright, now the zipper is done. The next thing you do now is to bring the skirt to the right side. This is the waist looking. So just take your skirt to the right side. Alright, so we are in the right side of the skirt now. So the next thing now is to open your zip allowance. Is to open your zip rather. Then you fold the band downward. Fold the band downward. was like this, just fold it downward. Then you sew that part close. Just sew it close like so. So by the time you are done sewing, you have it like this, then you turn it to the right side like I'm showing you now. After turning it out, this is what you have. You can see this is what you have after turning it out. See how neat it is. Then you repeat the same thing on the other side. Fold the band downward. Then you make your stitch there. I'm showing us this step because I want us to be doing an awesome job. I want us all to be doing it very well. Let it be neat. All right, that's why I'm showing us this step. All right, so bring it out to the right side. So by the time you bring it to the right side, this is what you have. So the next thing you want to do now is to top stitch on the band. At this stage, you can decide to just iron this band and use your hemming gum inside and iron it in place without sewing. But you know, you can still sew it the way I'm showing you here. So starting from this, you just leave a little space. You are not going to start exactly on the zip. Please don't sew exactly on your zip. If not, you won't be able to zip the zip. Just step away from the zip like quarter inch, then you sew. It's not even up to quarter inch. Just step away from the zip a little. Then just continue to sew the band, top stitch the band on the skirt like I'm showing you here. As you sew, you push all your seam allowance right inside the band. Push your seam allowance inside the band, then you sew it till you get to the other side of the band. So when you're about to get to the other side of the band, you just stop few millimeter away from the zipper, just a little away from the zipper like so. Then that's it, you're done with your band. So after zipping your skirt, this is what you have, you see. Ensure your joining there align properly. This is your skirt. The next thing you will do now is to hem the lower part of your skirt. Just fold it and then your skirt will be ready. When you are sewing a flare and you are not using buyer to sew it, you don't need to rush. You just take it slowly and gently, like I'm showing you here. Make your fold, then you sew gently, slowly. All right. And that's it. Our skirt is ready. Can you see how beautiful this skirt is looking? It's looking so gorgeous. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.